Que lo que mi gente, welcome to the Monoplaza F1 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Evertre, and with me today we got a special guest, Hollywood stuntman, Ferrari aficionado. Oh, sorry, tifosi, Kevin Arnold. Kevin Arnold, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming on. How you doing?
Thanks for having me, bro. I'm good. How are you?
Just surviving, still getting over the race was Sunday, still getting over Ferrari's ineptitude. Yes, I'm jumping right into it immediately.
Yeah, the
Immediately.
communication.
Hey, listen, Kevin, I asked you this off air. I'm gonna ask you this question on air right now. Given everything you saw from the race, everything you've seen this season so far, can you I guess I don't know if you're as frustrated as I am, but can you explain to me how a multi-billion-dollar corporation is so terrible at on-track decision making? Why can nobody make a simple decision?
I think it's pride and ego. I don't know. I think it's just pride, and Ferrari, everyone's a Ferrari fan, no matter how you want to look at it. Everyone wants to be a Ferrari driver, quoting Sebastian Vettel there. I think also it comes down to team rules, right? And people being mindful of what's going on there when it comes down to different strategies, different races. I think that there's a lot of moving pieces there. Fred Vasseur, I'm also blamed for this as well. So, a lot of moving pieces. That's for sure.
Uh, I mean, I thought it was interesting. Like initially, and I had to wait a little bit to kind of calm down. During the race, I'm watching it. Huge Lewis Hamilton fan, as I know you
Of
are. I
course.
am.
Naturally.
Uh, he gets on the radio and says, "I'm losing time behind Charles," and then uh, all of a sudden it felt like Charles wasn't getting out of the way. They called it like they play the radio on the broadcast, and Charles is like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." Goes another lap. Lewis is like, "I'm wasting time here." So initially, I was pissed off at Charles, but it wasn't until like later that you're finding out, oh, they didn't even tell this man to pit. They didn't tell him they were on different strategy. They were just like,
Yeah. We've seen this before. We saw it 2 years ago with Carlos Sainz. We saw it with Sebastian Vettel, right? Like it's that's the problem, is that this is nothing new, right? And we kind of talked about it off air. I thank God I haven't been a Ferrari fan for this long, because I couldn't imagine. You got to listen. I saw a quote and I can't remember what it was, but it's like Ferrari. Actually, I think I took a screenshot of it. Hold on, this is gonna be funny because I think I have a screenshot of it actually. Hold on. It said, yeah, it's right here. It says, maybe supporting this team was never about success and glory, but rather learning how to deal with failure.
hey, listen, I'm not trying to deal with failure, man. I've only been see because the thing I don't know about you. So me personally, like I got
Yeah,
the Ferrari gear. I'm going to
yeah,
Monza. Like
of course.
I know the Italian national anthem that for a completely different reason, not related to F1, right?
Yeah,
But like I personally would not consider myself a tifosi
Tifosi.
because I hear
Yeah,
tifosi and it's like you
yeah.
love Ferrari, right? And I got
You
Ferrari
love
gear,
you love Ferrari, Forza
right?
Ferrari, like all the way through, right?
But the reality of the situation for me, if Lewis Hamilton, God forbid, goes to Haas tomorrow, guess what I'm rocking tomorrow?
Brother, this hat's coming off and we're bouncing to the next
Immediately,
team.
expeditiously. So like, then I think they understand that. I think Ferrari understands like, hey, we're actually about to lose. Big fan, and like the true tifosi are like, yeah, you guys are clowns. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
whatever. Like I don't care. I
yeah,
think the thing that I just kind of had to. It was such a simple thing to say, Charles. Hey, you're gonna let Lewis by. He's on a different race than you are. We're still trying to do I think it was like overcut on George. That's all. And then they didn't say that to anybody. I think the thing that also like, I don't know if you saw it like post race, if you saw, they did a thing of, and I just saw it like on Twitter, on everywhere. Like Charles
yeah,
drives by Lewis, looks
yeah,
at
and then
Lewis,
shakes his head.
shakes his head. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, I did see that.
I know you're lying right now. I know Charles is not shaking his head. And
Right?
everybody is like, so now the thing that I was not prepared for, I guess, is like, have you noticed kind of like the civil war that's happening between like
Of
the
course,
two fan
of
bases,
course, of
right?
course. I
But
it's it happened to me the other day on TikTok. I posted a video about, I said, Lewis needs to remember that, there was the Jordan era. Jordan wasn't liked by all of his teammates. There was a Kobe era. He wasn't liked by all of his teammates. Schumacher definitely wasn't liked by a lot of people at Maranello and how he handled things. You got to remember, Andrea Stella was his engineer as well, and he made him upset about a lot of different things. Even if you want to take Ayrton Senna, like I think a lot of those guys, just in the F1 space, if you just take Senna and Schumacher, they pissed a lot of people off, right? And I think at the same time, a lot of people have gotten into in the new world of F1, and this is where I kind of will date myself, but I think being a older F1 fan, I think that a lot of people got into the sport and they like the personalities of Charles, they like the personalities of Lewis, they like the
Mm,
personalities of Lando, right? And it's like this is also about winning races. This is also about like winning championships. This isn't just about like looking like good looking drivers. This is about dudes that like actually want to like win championships. Like this is serious stuff, and I think that that's why the civil war clash is happening now because people are like, well, what you need to be mindful of the fact that this is happening. He's doing this, and Charles is this. It's like, yeah, you're right, but we're also talking about who's winning and who's beneath that, right? Not that there is a big gap there in the
no,
point system,
no,
right?
nope. It's
It's
like
28
28
points
points.
right now.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so it's 28 points, but also you're talking about we'll just say it the right way, an 8-time world champion, right? And we're talking about someone who just got a new contract, right? That's 50 million a year, fourth highest paid driver on the grid, who's never really been able to do more than just have an incredible resume.
That so that see, like that's my biggest
Yeah,
gripe, right?
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
think there's no way that we can say all of these things without sounding like a bunch of haters. Meaning like Charles is great, Charles is quick, Charles is exceptional, Charles is generational, all of these things. But immediately I have to do this qualifying statement. But in however many years at Ferrari, he's only got 9 wins under his belt. And like they call like right, he retires champs. They gave him that title after Vettel, right? And certainly Lewis's first year at Ferrari, it was like, dang, he's gonna go out like this, right? But this year has been totally different, right? And like the whole point of like of being in a Formula One team is to win as a team, the constructors, as a driver, the WEC, right? But before any of that is beating your teammate. I think like my only knock, I'm not expecting Charles Leclerc to be Valtteri Bottas.
Mhm.
All right.
Or Checo Perez.
Nah. But my whole thing is like we've got fan bases mad at each other. We got us taking digs at drivers when all of this could have just I'm going full circle back to the beginning where it could have just been,
Yeah.
hey Charles, just let him through. You're good.
Yeah.
It's not gonna mess
Yeah.
up your race. Like you're good.
It's kind of I think what we're seeing is a bit of, Nico Rosberg with Lewis back in the day, and then
Mhm.
mixed with Papaya Rules, right? I think that
Mhm.
what we're seeing is a champion driver who got irritable and said what he said on the radio, which is fine, right? And then we have also someone who is a Charles Leclerc who's also really extremely talented, right? Like, extremely talented, but also I don't wanna say he's desperate, but he's in need to also show that he can do this, right? And this is the fun part, and then you have an organization that is Ferrari as a whole, an entity as a
Mm.
whole, right?
Mm.
That focuses more or less on a constructors championship, right? They focus more or less on winning as a team still, right? The win over getting on the podium, it's good. Oh, we got it. Tifosis, yeah, we did it, right? At the same time, not really, right? And that's where I think that they tend to struggle just a little bit in that sense. And I think that that's where the disconnect is for a Lewis Hamilton who came from a Mercedes, who said it in his interview. When you see the call come through, they switch, right? And also to even backtrack just a previous year, like you said, Lewis swapped places with Charles many times last year, right?
I
He did it in
mean,
Vegas. He did it
yep,
in Vegas.
yep,
Sorry, no, sorry. He did it in Miami and he did it in China and he also
yep.
did it there was one more place. Was it I think it was it Brazil or was it Coda? You know? And so my question to the Charles Leclerc fan base, right? And then to the because I have people in my comment sections all day that talk trash to me, right? And I just let it. I just kind of like I'm real petty, so I like egg people on all the time, right? Um, my question to a lot of people is like, what are you looking to get out of this, right? This argument.
I,
What's the takeaway?
that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, for me, it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna be like, yeah, Lewis is old. He's washed. I'm like,
Yeah,
I hear you.
of
The bulk
course.
of the records in F1 right now have one man's name behind it.
If it wasn't for Lewis Hamilton and it wasn't for Max Verstappen, I wouldn't be watching the sport. Like, why do you think Lewis? Okay, here's even a better take. Max Verstappen has got what is it, a 4-year deal? No,
Yeah, not
yeah,
worth
4-year deal,
92 mil, I think, a year or something
460
like that.
million euros for the next 4
Crazy.
years, right? Crazy numbers. 36% of part of the stake of the team, all the different things, right? You swear like Lewis is not going to get another new contract here in just a moment to keep the thing going. Like F1 needs Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Without yes, Kimmy's doing what Kimmy's doing, right?
Absolutely.
When you think F1, you think Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. It's just that simple. Those are the two household names right there.
I mean, I would even go a step further and say that people outside of F1 probably don't know a Max Verstappen, but they know a Lewis Hamilton.
I agree. I agree. I agree with you. I just think that my only point I'm getting at is that you're not saying like a Charles Leclerc or a Lando Norris, a Nico Hulkenberg, a Fernando Alonso. Some people are, right? Fernando Alonso. I'll give Fernando Alonso actually. He's up there.
Not me though. But keep going.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. I just think that a lot of people get stuck on personalities of F1 now because they've grown to like them
Sure,
on Drive to Survive
sure.
and they love Alexa, his Alexandria. I mean, his wife now who's expecting a baby, right? They fall in love with the personalities, right? And I think that that's as you know, and as we know, watching sports. Like I said, people hated Schumacher at Maranello in the beginning, right? People hate. I think if you took Schumacher and Senna and put them in today's age, even Nigel Mansell and others, right? Nicky Lauder, if you put them in today's age of James Hunt, those guys in the Formula One paddock now, people would hate them right now.
Well, hey, dog, the tried and true thing in all sports that transcends all sports, people hate a
Yeah.
winner.
Yes. Simple
People
as
hate
that.
people because everyone talks about Sebastian Vettel now. Oh, when he was winning, he was dropping titles on him.
Yes.
No one liked
Yes.
Vettel.
No,
When Max
no, I remember I used to dude, I used to hate Max Verstappen. Like, I was like, "This dude sucks, bro. He's so good. I hate him, right? I hate him."
but now
Now I
it's
see
like,
Max,
"Oh,
I'm like, "You
man,
know
this is
what, bro?"
Max, bro.
Like,
He's just
even
out
though
here
he's not
racing."
winning yeah, like, even though he's not winning, I'm like, "Bro, you're a racist racer." Like, you're with it, you know? Like,
See?
you're gonna do what you gotta do to win, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm not even that mad at that." So, I
That
get it.
that's my point, right? It's like once
Yeah.
people so to your point, 100%. If it's not your favorite driver and they're winning, oh man, this sucks. Yeah, because 2023 was hell on earth
Yeah.
for me, right? It was
Oh,
like where
yeah.
Max was
100%.
just like win, 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 win.
2021, 2022, 2023, you're like, "Brother, this guy again?
See,
This guy again, does he
see,
not leave?"
see. And so like I think full circle, and then we can move on. I think for me, like with Charles Leclerc, I'm not at all expecting him to step aside for Lewis. I think probably the biggest thing, people's gut reaction initially was like, "Oh, Charles is just ignoring team orders," right? Well, we found out like that's not true. We found out is once again it's a Ferrari communication problem. The final thing that I will say for now before I move on is that I'm not saying that Charles is a bad teammate, but I do remember last year in Saudi Arabia, Charles felt some type of way because they didn't swap positions at the end to give him a seventh place instead of an eighth place.
Mhm.
And I was like,
I think I don't think Charles is a good team player is all I'll say. I don't think he was a good team player with Carlos. I don't think he's a good team player when he was with Sebastian Vettel.
look,
I think that's just what it is, right?
but I
I think
don't
it's
think
tough
any
for
of
him.
them are. But I don't think any of them are. I just
I
think
think
some
but I
some
th
are like are different levels. Like if your team is buns, great
yeah,
team player. If your team is like good, nah, bro, I'm looking out for me. As long as I don't crash, I just got to be faster than you. We got to get these. Like
yeah,
even
yeah.
Lewis
I guess
Hamilton,
that's
to be
fair.
completely honest, like even Lewis when he's winning, like him and Nico when they were going back, they weren't team players.
But you remember, like, for example, I think it was the Hungary race with Valtteri Bottas. They swapped positions with Valtteri and him. He pushed as far as he could
Yep.
push, and then he slowed all the way down for Valtteri to
To
come
let
back and get
Valtteri.
those
Yep.
points, right? So, and I think even when you look at Checo Perez did a good job of being a team player. I think if you take even, I'll even say in a new age right now, I even think Isaac Hadjar is doing an
Oh,
incredible job being a team player. You know, like
I
his toe that he gave him at Spa.
But if you
Uh,
even if you look at Hadrid, so Hadrid's first podium last year obviously was because Lando at
yeah, of
Zandvoort, Lando
course.
his car
Yeah.
blew up, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
Isaac's one job was a just hold everybody up,
Yeah.
let Max get this podium,
Yeah.
full send on that. So I guess my question now is kind of moving on. The race was won by Lando Norris, the pride of Bayamo. I like to say the same. Like I feel like Lando Norris in a different life or a current life is like Puerto Rican. So I always call him like the pride of Bayamo.
I love
So
that.
so Lando wins his second race in a row, and I feel like I don't know what you think about this. This probably could not have come at a worse time for Ferrari. So I put out a video earlier where I was saying like the biggest threat to Mercedes right now is not Ferrari. It's or the biggest threat to
It's
Mercedes, not
McLaren.
Ferrari, it's McLaren. Yeah, because
McLaren, 100%.
no one upgrades like McLaren. I don't know what they got going on, what they're cooking down. Every upgrade is like, yeah, we saw this data in the wind tunnel quickly correlate. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I was just at Car Week in Monterey last week, or 2 weeks ago now, and I met Zach Brown at this McLaren event,
Oh,
and yeah, it was cool, and we couldn't they're releasing a new McLaren, it's called the MCL 50, I think, or 56, one of the 2, we'll have to look it up, and so they took away our phones, but it was an incredible experience, right? And Zach Brown showed up, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy. That's Zach. Like, that's kinda cool." I hate on Zach all the time. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I don't. Like, I do. Like, I just think he's
hey,
corny,
I
right?
respect that. It's like, first of all, hate on him, but
I hate on that dude. Like, I do. He's corny. Like, "Oh, is this the world champion hotline?" It's like, "Bro, shut up, man. Like, I can't with you." But anyway, I digress. He was there, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool that he's here at this event." He took the time to come out to this event. Car Week is a big car guy. It is what it is. He's also gonna come up and talk about the car. So I just made a point to be like, "You know what? I'm gonna keep it cool. I'm gonna go up and like just say, yo, keep doing what you're doing. You're crushing with your team. Oscar and Lando are crushing. I'm super stoked to see where they go with this." And I did. And he was like, "I really appreciate that, man. Thank you." He's like, "You're a big fan of McLaren." I was like, "I'm a Lewis fan, but yeah, I'm a fan of the sport." He goes, "I respect that. I respect that, right?" And so then they announced the car, and he was up there talking about McLaren F1 racing, talking about their new wet car, talking about IndyCar, talking about all the things they're working on and how they're developing this and developing that. They're super excited to be in WEC, and I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty cool to see. Like he's passionate about racing, right? And that's what's cool to me is that he's a real dude. He's authentic. What you see is what you get, and take it at face value. And I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm rock with that. So it was cool.
the only thing, you know what, I'm not gonna say it. Like, shouts out to him because honestly, the whole Wheel of Fortune, like the Wheel of Fortune backstory is still
Yeah,
kind
I
of wild for
know. It's
me. But
crazy. It's
also,
crazy.
little known fact about Zach Brown, or maybe big known, he's a huge baseball fan. So he was like, I think in DR, watching some Winter League ball down there because
Yeah.
Albert Pujols, because I think he's a Cardinals fan, unfortunately. Um, Pujols is the manager of one of the teams down there, Escogido, and so he was down there. All the DR fans showed up, "Oh, McLaren, let me take a picture." But I think, like, what's interesting, what I'm liking, and I guess tell me what you think of Lando's newfound confidence. It's almost like he got that pressure off his back. He got his first, world driver championship last year,
Yeah.
finally
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
talented kid." He won, and I'm loving everything I'm seeing out of Lando this year. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I don't even like I like McLaren, full stop. Like, I'm always gonna rock with
I like
Lewis, but
Oscar.
obviously but
Yeah.
Lewis was a McLaren boy before he was anything, and so, like,
Of course.
tell me what you
Of
think
course.
about, Lando's newfound confidence, and I guess is he a threat now to Kimi?
It's funny, I just made a video about this on TikTok, so shameless plug, go check it out. There's talks of him getting a new contract for next year, 60 million a year, and I'm sure it's gonna be like a 4-year deal. I like Lando, right? I've liked Lando's ever since I kinda got into F1 in the early 2017, 2016 space because he wasn't in the sport yet. And what I like about Lando is that Lando was on a team that was not good, right? McLaren was not always good.
No, they
McLaren,
were not.
when they had Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz there, they were not always good. They were
No,
not they were a midfield team at best,
the car
right?
was
And so
blank, no sponsors. No, that
yes,
team was
no sponsors, right? Now
ass.
they have the most, but they are leading in sponsors, right? Zach Brown's done it again. Hats off to Zach Brown for becoming the CEO, turning the whole program around. I've nothing but the utmost respect for him. Lando as a person, the internet loves to hate on him. I remember
Mhm,
last year when
mhm.
he won the World Drivers' Championship, people were like, "Oh, he doesn't deserve it, this and that." Whatever, bro. Like he beat out who we need to beat out, right? I think the reason
Absolutely.
people don't like Lando is because we got some terrible papaya rules that came into play,
Yep.
and that's what happened there, right? Other than that, Lando to me, he said in 2024, I think, or 2023, when they had the Senna livery that they did at Monaco. He said, "Oh, I still get super nervous around driving on the Monaco track. It's one of the hardest tracks I've ever done." And now to see this newfound, kid who's got this confidence, right? Because I
And
think
the
Lando's only
bravado.
20. Yeah, I think he's like 26.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
kind of got his own swagger now. He does his own thing, right? He's I think he's 26. It's what to kind of go from being 23 to 26, and now you feel really good about yourself, right? And you're a driver's champion, right? You're the defending world champ right now, and the
Yep.
last 2 races you've dominated.
Not even. Yep.
I hats off to you, bro. I mean, I salute Lando every single time because I'm like, yo, he's found his rhythm, he's found his confidence, he feels good about it, and he's proud of himself. So I love that for him.
Yeah, because I'm looking up right now. I think Lewis Hamilton, yes, I'm gonna keep plugging Lewis Hamilton. Listen, this is a biased podcast. So if you don't like Lewis Hamilton, no, I'm joking. Uh Lewis had the biggest win margin in Barcelona. Lando has had two separate ones. He won by 15 seconds in Hungary and he won by 11.5 seconds in Zandvoort, right? So it's
Okay,
he's not
okay.
barely winning, like
He's winning, like he's
winning.
winning.
And
And
so
the
like
passes that he put also were impressive also in that race.
I mean, yeah, I'll give you that. Sure. The one on Kimmy in both those races, he made light work of Kimmy. That's probably like my one knock on Kimmy is that like when he's out front and he's leading, he's great.
Mm.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
anytime like he's got to make like, oh, I got to defend, I got to do whatever, like he does some
yeah.
reckless stuff, and like the more savvy drivers are like, I'm going there, no, I'm going there.
He's just green. He
He's a
doesn't know
kid.
yet.
He's a
That's
child.
all. Yeah,
He's a
yeah,
baby, literally.
yeah.
But the one thing that like I guess I'm starting to wonder is like coming into Monza, you know that for example, Antonelli is taking a grid penalty. So even if he gets pole, he's gonna be dropped back to like 10th place, right? If Lando gets pole here,
Sure.
no one's catching him. Maybe Oscar because they're teammates in the same car, but I don't think like Ferrari's bringing like the duo engine. It's gonna be a bloodbath for Ferrari. I have zero confidence that that car is
Yeah,
gonna be fast.
I hear you. I hear you. I mean, you may not be wrong. I don't know. Do you want my take on it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're not wrong. Wherever Kimmy goes, he's gonna get the grid penalty. I mean, are him and George both taking grid penalties?
I think it's just Kimmy because I think George
Just
already
Kimmy?
took the grid penalty. And like the weird thing
Mm.
about that, by the way, is that they had to consult with Kimmy's dad. So it's
Mm.
like, hey, are you good if
Are you cool with
we?
that?
I'm like,
If we
why
if
are
we
you
if we if
asking?
we put him to the back, we're just
It's
gonna put
like,
him
why
in
are
the
you
back
asking
real
his
quick.
dad? Make an
I know.
executive decision.
I
Tor, get with
know.
you.
It's crazy. It's
Uh,
crazy.
Consult with dad.
It's
Out of here.
I know, right? Yeah,
Uh,
it's so I don't know. I think you're not wrong about Lando. If Lando gets on pole and the McLaren yeah, if he gets on pole, it's not gonna be good for anyone unless there could be reliability issues, right?
Always a wild card. Sure.
Always a wild card, right? But for the most part, you're not wrong. For the most part, what we see is what we're gonna get. If Lando puts it on pole, he's gonna win it, right? I think I'm optimistic. I'm Delulu for Lulu, right? Is what I always say. And so I
Hey, listen. I want you to know that. Or was it what race was it? It was like Hungary. I made this video. I was like, this video is for Lewis Hamilton and Lewis Hamilton. I was like, why am I pumping up Lewis Hamilton right now? Like he's not gonna see this. Like matter of fact, like if I
you
met
never
Lewis,
know.
brother, listen, if I met Lewis Hamilton today, two
Yeah.
seconds after I dapped him up,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
big fan, took a
Yeah.
picture. Two
Yeah.
seconds later, he would not remember my name for the life of him. Right? He'd be like, that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I
He's
met Lewis Hamilton in 2016 at Soho House in West Hollywood, actually.
yo, how was that?
It was funny because there was this very attractive woman that was in front of me, right? And we were in this so Soho House is a private members club, and so we're in this room getting ready to go get food, and this woman was in front of me, and I remember I was like, "Oh, this very pretty girl." She had on a Mercedes AMG hat, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, I was like, "Are you a Mercedes fan?" She's like, "Yeah, the guy I'm with here is a big driver for them." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, that's awesome." Didn't know much about F1. I just followed Lewis on Instagram. That's all I knew, right?
Facts,
So
yeah.
that's like my introduction. I was like just getting into F1. And I remember this guy walks past me and just squeezes on by and says hi to the girl and it's like gives her a hug. And I'm like, oh, that's Lewis Hamilton. That's crazy. And I just was like, I didn't really understand the concept of like, yo, that's him. That's the guy, right? And now here I am 10 years later talking about Delulu for Lulu, this and that. That dude doesn't remember me, in my mind, we're boys.
Hey, listen, you brush shoulders with greatness. I'll be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
remember that one time you were still
That
dating
one
Nicole
time.
Scherzinger?" It's like that
Yeah,
was
bro. That
no,
was
and
it.
so for me, I guess like Yeah, he could win, but I think, like, I'm trying not to, yeah, I'm doing that thing where you try not to get, like, your hopes up so
No,
that
of
the
course,
disappointment,
of
like,
course,
doesn't
of
absolutely crush
course,
you.
of course.
But I think it's interesting that both of us are saying, "Okay, McLaren, if Lando gets pole, he'll probably win the race." Great. Neither of us mentioned Oscar. What's going on with Oscar Piastri this year? Because I love
You know
Oscar,
what I
but
would you know what would be kinda cool? This is a hot take right here, so you can clip this one. I would love to see Oscar go to Ferrari and Charles go to McLaren.
all right,
Yeah.
expound on that. Like, why?
I think I think Oscar got done dirty the last 2 years, right? With papaya rules, his first win when he was at Hungary, them to switch positions because they messed up on Lando's pit stop, right?
Mhm.
Them trying to do all the things, a double disqualification at Vegas, them begging him on the radio to like, "You're gonna need your teammate at some point in time." I feel like
But
he kinda
that
took
was
the
on Lando though. They did that for Lando, right? They were like, "Hey,
Yes, they
Lando."
did for Lando, but they still made him swap positions though, right? Is all I'm saying. It was like a pity win, you know what I mean?
I
And
got you. I
so
got you. I got you. I got you.
yeah, and so and not that I just think that he would be in a I think he'd be a more fun teammate with Lewis is my take, right? I think they'd be a better powerhouse, a better give and take. To me, Charles wants to win just as much as Lando wants to win. So does Oscar, right? Oscar wants to win also, but I feel like Oscar and a Ferrari might be a better power dynamic because they can give and take where they need to, right? And go from there.
Interesting. See,
That's my hot take.
because I was going the opposite direction. I'd love to
Mm.
see an Oscar and a Red Bull.
That I would love to see that too. I would.
But I think
I
what, like,
would.
what we're both saying is that Oscar and McLaren just is like a
Just
round
doesn't
hole
match.
or round peg, square hole, whatever that analogy is, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, like,
Yeah.
last year, like, I was rocking heavy with Oscar last year, right? Because, like, the
Yeah.
whole thing was like, man,
We all
Oscar,
were.
like, ice in his veins. This dude just, like, he
Yeah.
wins. All he does is win.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like,
Yeah.
Lando, and, like, that was the one thing that I remember thinking last year about, like, Lando and Lewis was like, I love that y'all are honest and upfront about what you're feeling and you're raw and all of that. I just kinda wish y'all would scale it back only because I feel like people use that against you, right? It's like, "Oh, why is this dude so soft?" It's like, "He's not soft, he's just telling you how he feels," right? And so Oscar was like the polar opposite. It was like, "Oh, yeah, he's XYZ, he's amazing." And then just to kinda see, like, started doing terrible, starting with, like, honestly, Zandvoort, not Zandvoort, the last one is Zandvoort, then Baku, and then
He
Coda,
didn't
like, he
have a good
just
second half of the season at all.
terrible, right? But
Yeah.
the thing that kinda, like, which I thought, like, Papaya Rules was kinda, like, stupid was if you remember, like, Silverstone last year, Oscar brake checks Max. They give him that penalty. He
Yeah.
absolutely did not need to do that to Max because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
car
Yeah.
was way better.
Yeah. Of
Max wasn't his rival, whatever.
course.
But then he gets on the horn
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, Oscar, they're gonna give you a 10-second penalty." And he's like, "Oh man, that's not fair." Blah 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 blah. And the team was like, "Yeah, no, we agree, that's not fair." And then Oscar is like, "Right, since we both agree that it's not fair, how about we swap with Lando?" And it's like, Oscar,
Yeah. I think I
Oscar,
because you remember he's a F2 champion, right?
absolutely,
So
yep. F2,
so
F3.
yeah, I don't know. It's he's a wild card, right? I don't know where he fits. I mean, Mark Webber being his agent, I don't know where he fits in the mix with everything. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for Oscar to kind of pick it up, but I don't know if he's the driver for McLaren. It feels like McLaren has made it because Lando's been there for so
Absolutely,
long.
absolutely.
He's number 1 no matter what.
Yeah,
And they
there's
want to sit there and say that he's not. It's anyone's race, but it's
please,
Lando's team. It's
listen,
Lando's team.
as long as Zach Brown is at McLaren,
Yes. Yes.
Zach Brown is Lando's dad. Lando is his
Yes.
son, right?
It's of
Because it's
course.
always funny to me to see Zach. Hey, Zach, if you're a watch this, love you, man. But you see, whenever Oscar wins, like him feigning the yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oscar. And then you see, like, when Lando wins, it's like, my man is all right. And so, like, for
Hey,
me,
Oscar. Good shit.
yeah,
Put it there.
he did it,
All
right?
right,
And so
but
then
Lando wins. All right. He's all fired. Like, bro, relax,
it was
bro.
like
It's not that.
squeezing the life out of that man. But then, like, the
Yeah.
other thing too is that, like, a couple of years back, I wanna say it was, like, last year, Alex Palou, because he used to be a McLaren driver, they were,
Mhm.
like, famously in a lawsuit, he was basically
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
like, "Hey, honestly, Zach didn't want Oscar." Oscar was
Yeah.
because of somebody else. Like Zach wanted somebody else. Zach, he was Lando, but Oscar was not. And I was like, ooh,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a contra I mean, that's the crazy thing about F1 as a whole, right? It's pretty cutthroat and it's pretty, look what happened to Yuki, right? In the sense of you push people in and you push people out, right? He's a reserve driver now. Obviously, is because of Honda, all the things that go with Honda and so forth.
yes.
But yeah,
Oh,
it's there's a lot of moving pieces there, you know?
and so I guess going back, last thing on McLaren, like full circle, yes or no, Lando has a better shot of winning the WDC than Lewis does.
Charles?
No,
Other than Lewis.
than Lewis.
It's not out of the equation yet. Okay,
Yeah, see?
I'll say that. Listen, anything's possible. I think the one thing that I always try and be mindful of is that uh Lewis has the most knowledge, right? And is the winningest
Yep,
driver
yep,
of all the
yep.
guys on the current grid. Lando has the fastest car, clearly. And Kimi, I think, is the most hungry, right? Kimi Antonelli, to me, he finds the threshold every single race. He's even Silverstone when his car broke down, right? He was like, "Oh, I think I can
Yeah,
finish the
like,
race." He's like,
let
"You
me
have a
do
hydraulic
this.
problem." He's like, "Oh, I think I can do it. I think
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
do it."
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lando's kind of like, "Oh, well, we're in the fastest car. It felt good. This and that's gonna happen." Lewis is just the most mindful. I mean, during the sprint, he put it on pole like an absolute weapon, right? And it's Silverstone's his race. It is what it is. So to answer your question, yes, Lando is not out of the equation. I think first half of the season we saw a couple reliability issues with McLaren, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Uh, so let's see what happens the second half of the season, right? Let's see where it goes. Anything's possible. I'm obviously like you on this. I'm trying not to get myself too worked up, thinking that Lewis is going to come through and just like be a big dog and win it all, right? And walk around and just do his things like Kim Kardashian as his girlfriend now. I'm not trying to get too hyped, right? But I'm with you on this though. I'm trying to be like, oh, come on, Lewis, like
I
we can do this, man.
I just feel like the advantages that Lando has is a team that knows how to upgrade the car and a team that seemingly now, whether they want to admit it or not, and I'm not saying this is like conspiracy theories because like whatever. I think McLaren is fully behind Lando because Lando clearly has been the better driver this year, right? I think Lewis is on a team where he's fighting against uh, miscommunications, bad
Yeah,
strategy, a
yeah,
teammate who is also hungry and who is
yeah.
loved by Ferrari, right? So it's like he's got a lot of things going against him. And then like the other thing too, like see, I knew I would come back full circle with Ferrari. Like initially for me, Carlos Santi was like, oh man, he's better than Adami. Get that scrub out of here. Santi's been letting me down. I'm like, hey, it's time to get my
Gotta
because
remember
you see,
though.
like, yeah, our interaction, right? Like early on, we
Gotta
hey,
remember.
Santi's gonna be his guy. I was like, no, I think they got Michael Grosjean, or
Yeah,
Cedric Michael Grosjean coming.
Cedric. Yeah, yeah.
Go
I
ahead,
think
bring
I think
Cedric in.
Cedric I think Cedric was to be optimistic, right? I think that Lewis made the best decision that he possibly could with where he felt, right? And I think we saw a glimpse of that at Barcelona, right? When he won Barcelona, right?
Mhm.
I think it's finding that threshold, right? Finding that amount of information. You and your engineer are such a dynamic team, right? Of what you need for them to give as far as feedback to you, right? And I
Yes.
think that Lewis
Yes.
is such a unique person with having a, a Bono Wellington in his life for so long, right? 7 championships, right? And now to go to a whole new system that's not predominantly English speaking.
Mhm.
And then you have a Lando Norris who's been at the same team for the last 8 seasons, right? Or 7 seasons, I think it is. Same engineer, same situation as well, right? That's where the miscommunication comes in a lot of the times, I think, is because you can tell in the radio messages, Lewis is like, "You guys have the data. So like tell me what
That
I should be doing."
that was
Right?
the wildest thing to me, by the way. It's like, "Hey, you wanna
Yeah.
try these new mediums?" I don't know, what was it were the mediums good? I don't know, it's like,
What do you mean?
yeah, I'm asking y'all yes, oh my
You're
god, what
looking at the monitor. What do you see?
I'm focused on the driver in front of me, I'm trying not to crash this bitch. Can you tell me? Well, and then, like,
Right?
I kinda got not my hopes up, but, I think you probably watched the race similarly, but maybe not. Like, so I have multi-viewer up, and then I have Lewis's radio so I can hear the radio not on the stream. So when the race started before the formation lap, he was talking to Cedric on the rail. I was like, oh, are they about to? And then obviously Santi was there. So like I think they are making like I hear what you're saying about continuity in the team.
It's
I feel
figuring it
like
out. It's teetering,
I feel
right?
like if that relationship with Santi had been equal to Adami's, he would have gotten the X earlier.
Gone,
Yeah, yeah,
gone. And I think
yes,
Adami, you know, last year, I mean, to put it in context, Adami's been there since Sebastian Vettel was there, right? He's been there for a long time, right? So again, it's a system that's been in play for a long time. And we saw last year that system did not work for Lewis Hamilton at all,
bro.
right?
It's just like the
Did
basic
not work.
stuff. Yeah, because he'd be like,
Just
"Hey,
did not work.
what's the pace of the guy in front of me?" Max Verstappen. I
Yes.
was like, "Is he in front of me?"
Yes. Yeah, did not work, right? I mean, I think I learned that did not work for him when Lewis was at Monaco and he was racing by himself, right? The whole entire race, and they were like, "Oh, Lewis, like, I don't know if I was in 5th, if I was in 8th, or where I was at," right? And they didn't give him any information. Then he was like, "Are you guys mad at me?" And there was no information there, right? There was just too
Crickets,
many, like,
crickets.
red
Yeah,
flags that came out. And so I think Carlos Santi and Cedric, Cedric was with him at Mercedes as well. I think there's a bit of a they're figuring it out. Lewis knows what's gonna work for him and what he needs from his team, right? Um, I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that this dude gets comfortable as possible with this team, though. That's all I'm hopeful for.
I mean, I definitely think this year more so than last year.
Yeah, way more. I mean, he won a race, right? He
Yeah,
won Barcelona,
full
and
stop.
he's won a race, and he's been in 3rd. He was in 2nd. He's done really good. Canada was a good race for him.
Yep.
Uh, uh, what's it called? Monaco was a great race for him as well. So yeah, he's done good.
I think you just finally get more comfortable with telling the team like, "This is what I'm expecting. This is what y'all need to do to win. I'm
Hundred
a winner.
percent,
You brought me here. Like, let's get this done."
100%.
What did you think? Because I guess it is appropriate for me to ask this question since the race literally ended. What do you think about the last race at Zandvoort overall? Like, were you, I was not expecting Max to crash. Kind of bummed that he did, which is crazy for me to say. Personally, um, I I didn't think it was a terrible race. I mean, I thought the result could have been better as a Lewis Hamilton fan. But what did you think? Like that race was? Well, I thought it was like a good send off for Zandvoort. I don't know, like.
It wasn't what I expected. I'll say that. I didn't
That a
expect
good
Max
thing or a
Verstappen.
bad thing?
Not just not what I expected. Not it's neutral. I think I wasn't expecting Max Verstappen to crash his last home race, right? I'm shocked that they're getting rid of Zandvoort, even though it's hard to pass on that track. I think that I was hoping that there maybe be some rain, right? I was hoping that they hyped it up like, oh, forecast the whole weekend
Yeah,
looks like it's gonna rain. I was like,
yeah,
let's go,
it
let's
didn't happen.
go. It's gonna be didn't happen. So I was hopeful for that, but didn't happen. I thought that even maybe we'd see a little more battling, right, between Kimi and Lando and Lewis and all the boys, right? I think that that's my only takeoff is that like I takeaway is that I was maybe expecting a little more action, and the biggest thing was freaking Nico Hulkenberg not hitting Gabriel Bortolamo,
Yo,
right, which
yeah,
was
that was
insane,
crazy skill because
crazy,
it was like a
crazy,
cloud of smoke too. I was like, "Dang,
yeah.
Nico."
Yeah. I think that was 1, and 2, Carlos Sainz running into Alex Albon, which was, like, super random but funny to me.
Eh,
Like, why are you pushing your teammate
totally
off the track like that?
unnecessary too. Like Carlos on
Yeah.
these old ass tires. Like, Carlos, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Your tires.
And bro, you guys are fighting for 15th and 16th. What are you talking about? Like, what are you
That's the thing that
doing?
always kills me. It's like, but I mean, I guess what they're trying to say is like, if you look back at the stats, I was still better than my team. I was like, no points scored.
I guess, right? And so, yeah, and then I think the last and final one was just, the radio messages between Charles and Lewis, and Ferrari. Ferrari camp was very surprising to see that happen. I mean, I think it may happen again. I hope it doesn't, obviously, but I think it's inevitable now.
I think obviously the upcoming race is a home race, unless for some asinine reason Formula One decides to bring Imola at the end of the season, which I don't know what you've heard, but like that would
I have
be
heard that.
such a dumb move. Italy in
Uh,
December
I
or
know.
November.
Listen, yeah, November. Well, December, really. It's December 6th, first weekend of
Yeah,
December 6th.
yeah. Do they
Yeah.
not know it snows there? Like, what are you?
I
What?
don't know. I think when it comes down to the FIA and when it comes down to Formula One as a whole, F1 as a whole, they've sold. They want to make so much money right now. They just care about making
Absolutely,
money. That's all they
absolutely.
care about,
But
you know?
the product just on track. The product would be terrible. because it's so cold.
God awful.
The
Yeah,
conditions
it's
would be so terrible.
makes no sense. They're not thinking this all the way through. Obviously, the conflict in the Middle East is terrible for what's going on in the world, but at the same time, going to Imola in December, be so for real.
He's like,
Be so for real,
hey, Stefano, just hold this L, brother. Just it's all
right?
right. You
Like,
don't
just go
just
ahead and
give us
take that,
22
brother.
races.
Take that
Yeah,
real quick. You could.
we don't need 24 races if you're telling
No.
me that I'm gonna be racing in friggin' Italy in the winter and
Even when
there's
they talked about doing Vegas twice, it's like, why? You guys have so many other circuits available
s-
to you guys. Like, what? Like, come on.
so. As a fellow American, now you're on the West
Yeah,
Coast. So for those who
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know, America has a thousand time zones for whatever reason.
Of course,
So I feel like Vegas, if you're on the West Coast, is amazing. Like
it's
the
amazing.
starting times, everything is amazing.
It's incredible.
But my
The rest
gripe,
of the world,
well, listen, it's like I'm not trying to watch a 12 a.m. race in the United States. That this should be like a home race for me. Like, we're not racing in Australia, China, Japan. Like, why? Why the hell am I up at midnight? And the other thing too is like you could tell whoever organized it has
yeah.
no clue about like geography and weather during. Because why are
Mm-mm.
you doing a
Mm-mm.
night race in Vegas in November?
Like, you know how cold it is? You know how
Yeah,
cold it is in Vegas
I
at
was
night?
can y'all open up? Do they have thesauruses or almanacs in your
Dude,
countries? Like, come on,
I
man.
I went last year. It was pretty cold in that, but I also understand you can't really do it, like, right now, right? It's so hot. It's like, dude, today it was 100 and for context, I live in Los Angeles, right? So today it was 100 degrees. I'm sure Vegas right now is probably, like, 115 at
Yeah,
night.
but okay. And you know how they handle that? In the desert, they do night
Mm.
races.
Yeah, that's true, but I think they would have to do a night race, like, maybe at the latest, like, October.
That see, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
do it
I feel you.
take it out of November, put it in October. Again, that like I've been on that bandwagon for like since Vegas came out. I was like, "Why are we doing a Vegas race in November at midnight?" Yeah, I hear you, Kev. Yeah, it's money. I know cash rules everything around me. You're right.
If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make
Doesn't make
sense,
sense. Yeah.
right?
Uh, what was I gonna say? So I think I kind of generally I'm not sad to see Zandvoort drop from the F1 calendar. It's still for those who don't know, like it's still gonna be on. Formula E, I think, just signed a contract, so they'll still have races there. Stuff Formula One is for the foreseeable future is not gonna be on there, right? Um, I thought it was a good send off. Like I said, I was not expecting Max to make that mistake and crash. So it would have been nice to see how he would have done because I think he would have done well. Just given how Liam and Arvid were doing. Shouts to Arvid Lindblad. Smart.
Arvid Lindblad's the guy. I
That's my
love him.
guy. Yes.
He's
So,
crushing it, absolutely crushing it.
but overall, I think like my only takeaway from the race is like Lando winning was great for me because it makes the title fight that much more interesting. Uh, I think he has a legitimate. So if you go to Poly Market, which I can't believe I'm saying this on a podcast, so I'm not that. Listen, I'm not familiar with Poly Market. Listen to me. Uh, anybody who wants to sponsor me. No, I was just like, I saw there's like another podcast that I follow, Entrando a Pitch, shouts out Vince, where they put the statistics. So Polymarket has Antonelli at a 75% chance of still winning the WDC, which is still good. Makes sense, right? Fast car, clearly faster than his teammate. Uh, and they put Lando at 7% over Lewis at 5% for chances at winning the championship. So that's kind of like where it's at. And like recency bias is a crazy thing, but I'm just also looking at like McLaren's trajectory. Like they've been trending upwards.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised. I think, like I said, if McLaren's good at bringing upgrades, Zach Brown, when we saw him at Monterey, said that they have a lot of fun things in store
I
for
bet they
McLaren
do.
racing. I mean, I don't know if you saw the upgrade they brought to Zandvoort, the rear wing,
Oh, the
um,
ripple, like I don't even
the
know. Yeah,
ripple
yeah, yeah,
effect.
yeah, yeah.
So I learned that what it does is it takes the airflow that comes off the wheel and shoots it up the wing, which creates more downforce out of the wing. That's pretty cool, right? And I
What's
mean,
that?
Ferrari was innovative with the Macarena wing.
Yep.
I think it's cool to see some of the upgrades that some of these teams
Yep.
bring, and I thought that was really cool. So I was like, oh, that's pretty sick, actually. You know?
I think first of all, it looked cool as hell because I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I saw it and I was like, okay, McLaren. Interesting. So also, by the way, you're better than me because if I had seen Zach Brown, be like, Zach, hey, brother. listen, next race you guys have in the United States. See, that's why I can't get invited to these nice things like you get invited, Kevin, because I know it'd be the first and last time they invite me to. I wouldn't know how to like act. Hey, Zach, listen, what I got to do to get in that garage? He's like, what? Who invited this clown? What the?
Who is this
Uh,
dude?
it's like get him out of here. Uh, the last thing, just getting ready to wrap it up, which I can't believe it took me this long to talk about it. Kevin, what did you think about Mercedes telling George to swap positions with Kimi? There was no way in my mind that Kimi was catching up to George or up to Lando, so it
Yeah,
felt a little bit like
yeah. I have a lot
George
of
didn't even
thoughts,
fight
but
it. George was like, "Yeah, okay."
no. Yeah. So, because he's tied with Lewis now. George is tied with Lewis in
Yep,
the points,
183.
right?
Yep.
So, uh, I'm shocked that Mercedes asked the question, but I think that there's a theory or a reason behind all that they do, right? Toto Wolff has been with Mercedes from start to finish. He obviously understands what he wants from his drivers,
Mhm.
and what he knows what it takes to win a championship. He's also was a part of the 2021 situation where they lost that race, right? Toto's been through a little bit of everything. So, um, I will say George Russell, aka Woody, is what I call him. I was kind of shocked also that he just kind of like aimlessly gave it up and was like, "Yeah, no worries. If he's gonna is he gonna go chase Lando?" I was like, "Are you okay? Like, Mister, I know all my strategy. I'm gonna do everything. I know
Call
I'm
my own
also flying
shots.
engineer." Yeah,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I think we could do a one stop." It's like he's so smug and so British. I'm like, "You're so annoying sometimes, man." But then I'm like, you get the call from Toto or from the race engineer, and you just said like you're
Mhm.
gonna swap cars on turn one, and he just abided by team rules. And to me, what that told me, because people don't talk about George Russell enough. George Russell is making more money right now than Lando Norris for this season,
Oh, I did not know
which
that.
is he's getting paid 35 million euros a year right
See,
now.
these numbers are just, like, ridiculous to me. Like, you
It's
say
so so
35
so so
million.
we're clear. It's right now. It's Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc. Or I guess it would be yeah for this season. Yeah, so Charles Leclerc and then uh Carlos Sainz, and then next year it switches to
Right. Right.
obviously the new contracts. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
I did not realize that George Russell was making 35 million for one season.
Because I think, like, it was I'm not gonna hold you, I thought it was kinda sad. Like, I definitely understood, like, why they did it. I thought it
Yeah,
was unnecessary.
yeah.
It was also hilarious that Kimmy was just like, "I'm out, peace." He
Yeah,
just
like later, like, "Thanks, bro. See ya."
yeah, I was like, "Dang."
There's favoritism there. There's favoritism. It's
Didn't
the
even try to
same
help George. He was just like,
yeah. It's the same thing as Lando and Zach Brown and Toto and freaking Kimmy. It's the same thing, right? Toto obviously favors I think he favors Kimmy
"Clearly,
because he knows that
clearly,
he's the future of the team. All the
clearly."
things they're gonna win championships with him. He's super young, right? He's
Fast.
super talented.
Hey,
Like,
yeah, that
he's
little boy's fast,
extre
bro.
extremely aware, extremely knowledgeable, right? Like, he's just got all the things, and I think that, George unfortunately got dealt a pretty terrible deck of cards, starting at Williams, being a Virginia driver at Williams, right, for as long as he was, got to sit in the car 1 year during 2020 and do I think it was they raced at Qatar, I think it was. He got the when Lewis
Yeah,
had COVID, I
he
think, or something like
almost
that.
won, but then the
Yeah,
car yep.
almost won, right? Like, he's been dealt I mean, he cried over having scoring 10th and getting points in 10th, right? Like, he's had a tough career. He's getting his lunch ate by a 20-year-old, right?
Who looks like a child. I will never stop saying that Kimmy he looks like he's in middle school, but, like, I think the thing that was kinda, like, interesting is that, like, George came into the season, I think in his mind, he was like, "Oh, yeah, the car is gonna be better," and that first race in Australia, he won. I'm pretty sure because I thought it at that point, he was like, "Oh, yeah, 10 races, I got this thing in the bag," right? And then literally the next race, Kimmy wins. The race after that, Kimmy wins. We have 2 years off before Miami, Kimmy wins again. I was like, then Monaco, Kimmy wins.
Yeah,
You go to freaking
yeah.
Canada, George's race, yeah,
Car
Kimmy wins
DNF with the
again.
cars.
Yeah, you get what I'm
Yeah,
so
the
so I'm
cars.
just like,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, hey, I don't
yeah,
know who you need to talk to. At some point, like now I'm just joking, like, George, it's amazing that you got engaged. Shouts out to him and Carmen,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably gonna be the highlight of his year.
You think so? I think there's still an opportunity for George because remember when George, what race was it? When Max Verstappen crashed and George just lifted and still got podiumed.
Austria. Austria.
Austria, right?
Yeah.
Did he win that race? I forget.
He did. He ended up winning that race. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that there's still hope for George, right?
Mhm.
George is a, like, by the book kinda guy, right? Like, he knows all the rules, all the little techniques to do things, where to be at the right time. He's very, like, meticulous about what he's gonna
He
do,
just reminds me of a politician, like, just like a
Oh,
politician.
yeah. Oh, he's, like, head of all the FIA meetings and stuff, like,
Yeah, he's
he understands what's going on,
very
right?
like, I just know George got, like, 3 bespoke suits just chilling on track, just in case he needs just no, the reason I think I disagree with you on there just because, I think Lando's on the come up. I think this year, at least, Kimi is definitely faster than him. I think Ferrari is not a between Charles and Lewis, 2 strong teammate like, I just feel like there's just too much for George to make up the difference, and, like, in a race where because I forget which race it was. Was it Silverstone was the last time I remember where, like, Kimi qualified up super high, he got the grip or not, yeah, no, he qualified super high, and then George was somewhere, like, way down. I was like,
Yeah, George was, like, 8th or 7th or
"Yeah," I
something
was
like
like,
that.
this is your home course. What are you doing,
I
sir?"
think for George also to, like, put the ball back in his court, he if we're being honest, right, Williams' career, started off at Williams as a junior driver, was gonna be promised to be brought up, right, got brought to Mercedes, still sat behind Lewis, but beat Lewis that season,
Sure.
right? Seven-time world champ is out, goes to Ferrari, and then you have this new little child that comes in and is like, "You think you're faster
Finally,
than me? You think you're faster than me, bro? What do you think you are?"
he was like,
You know?
"Yes,
Like,
I am."
that's and that's what I think is what happened, right? I think that that's the takeaway, so yeah.
Well, listen, I hope for Georgia's sake, it comes true, and for all the
Same.
GR63s, I also hope, couldn't be me. I went through hell last year with Lewis's first year at Ferrari, so hey, hold that.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, for
uh,
sure.
Kevin, we have come to the end of this, but before we leave, obviously you got your own things going on. Please let people know where can they find you on the internet? What are you doing these days?
I am on Instagram as my name, just Kevin Arnold, and then on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube, it's Kevin Arnold. So you can follow me on all those on there and see what I'm up to. And yeah, I work in the film industry and I do a bunch of creative consultant work on the outside of that and the photography space. So yeah, just taking it one day at a time, trying to be better than yesterday, man.
Hey, listen, this guy is real humble. Don't let the humbleness fool you. All right. He
Appreciate
brushes
it.
shoulders with greatness. Okay. That sounds like I'm joking. I'm actually not. No, man, I appreciate you coming on. We'll have to do this again sometime. Um, we've come to the end of if you've made it this far on the episode, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. It costs you
100%.
nothing. Don't
Nothing.
forget to tell your mommies, your papis, your tios, abuelas, vecinos, that's neighbors if you don't speak Spanish. For the Monoplaza F1 podcast, I'm That was Kevin Arnold. Peace.